All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So it's funny with NVOS and TTOO kind of falling off the radar today. I get a real good mix of viewer requests today. So we are looking at Nikola. That is where we will start. We'll take a look at Finger FNGR after that. Cosm will be the third one, and then Avtx will be the last one. All right, so. An interesting bunch here, okay? And look, I'll start it with Nikola. I can't tell if today was nothing more than a technical bounce on the last of the 5 moving averages, or if there was some news that was actually like substantial and worthy and worth holding some weight to, all right? Because you can see it. I mean, it did pretty well against the other moving averages, and that's obviously what we'll be talking about today, all right? FNGR, so Finger was making a real strong move not that many weeks ago. Might have even been 2 weeks ago. It fell below a few more moving averages than ideal, but today didn't go as horribly bad as I thought. That'll make a little more sense when we're looking at the chart, but I'm interested to see what that one actually does tomorrow, okay? Cosm, I was talking about that on Discord earlier today. I was hoping for more. I can't pretend that. However, the day didn't signal horribleness. Okay, so that is what I will talk about on Cosm. And then look, Avtx. There's just a simple theory I have. When the market looks bad, some silly stocks will do well, okay? And I think Avtx is a really easy example of a silly stock that is in the running to do well. I think it could very, 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 very easily do horrible, okay? But it's one of those risk rewards that might be worth something. You know what I mean? So we'll go over all that and more. But before we do, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. Sorry, we have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Listen, anything you can do helps me so much, but for real, just being here, giving me your time, giving me the opportunity to have conversations with you, oh man, what more can a person ask for, all right? So let's get into it, and let's start with Nikola. Look, I'm actually gonna pause this really quickly because I wanna flash something from the Discord. 1 second, okay? All right, I am back, and I do want to show, look, we were talking about Nikola today, all right, and, dropping news every 3 days. I remember making a video about the CEO's letter, and again, to me, I care. I know a lot of people get hyped about PR, right? Hey, PR is the way a company can bring attention. Attention brings volume. Volume is good, right? So I get the connection, right? To me, what matters is, can the news break the lines that matter, okay? At the very, very minimum, the news today helped bounce on the very last line that we had, okay? Because where were we? 1, 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. Break all 5 and fly, lose all 5 and die. We were real close to losing this and maybe having a fast fall here, if not even worse, right? So today was an important day just at a baseline level, all right? Was the news sustainable and substantial? I'm not entirely sure, but the fact that it smashed the 8 moving average, right? You can see it. The 8 moving average was sitting here at 135. You can see it in the box and the line that I'm at. We go all the way up to 139, which is exactly where the 100 moving average sits, okay? So we smash the 8 and we get to the door of the 100. I'll take that. And I think that at least tells me, hey, you know what? It wasn't some BS news. Because if it was, we probably would have only come to the 8 and maybe just wicked on down or something. No, this thing actually held most of the high. This thing was able to at least stay at the stay at the 100 moving average, the blue line. And yeah, a good few cents over again, for me, a penny over is a penny over, right? The 100 didn't break. right? Like we could not get over the 100. We're definitely knocking on the door. Hopefully someone answers tomorrow, right? But that's at least the one thing. The other thing I want to talk about, all right? So the 5 lines, and here's the one thing. The 8 is definitely going, it has a nice little drastic sharp move. So it's less the 5 lines, but right now these 4 lines, the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200, they're relatively parallel. That is a horizontal cluster in some ways, and all we're doing is going to the top, going to the bottom, going to the top. I don't know if we're going to go to the bottom. Like, you know, we might just be kind of bouncing up and down on these 4 horizontal lines. Hopefully, the 8 keeps this really nice slope. Hopefully can just start golden crossing and running and golden crossing and running and like use that as your bounce point up. Okay, the one thing I also want to flash just outside of Nikola specific, but NASDAQ was doing really badly the last couple days, and today did a nice little recovery. Okay, the one thing I really want to just say is this line right here, this is not like, I have more weight on my moving averages than on my horizontal lines, all right? This just happens to be a good kind of like mix of tops and bottoms of some, but yeah, the hundreds here and the 200s all the way down there, okay? And what's a little scarier is Dow Jones just got there. Obviously the drop, the distance wasn't as big, so it doesn't seem as drastic, right? But like, I don't know if that's an indication of things, and like this isn't necessarily a major market video, right? But NASDAQ's not doing swimmingly, okay? That's an easy statement to say. Today was an important day. It wasn't quite I would have loved it to be like a 1% kind of thing, but you know, RSI got low. RSI got sub 20s, right? Like that's really low for NASDAQ. It's actually been at 15, so it could have even gone a little lower, but you know, I don't know if we're simply just resetting to keep going down or what, but NASDAQ doing well has a lot of reason for me to believe that Nikola did well. The last moving average, instead of losing all 5, has a lot of weight in me, and right now, I think I'm leaning a little more towards this was nothing more than a technical move. That said, you know, getting over the 8 was, I think, just kind of swaying me a little bit, but I think I still need a little bit more. I do, and my problem really is these 2 lines right here, okay? Because what is, well, let's just use simple number, 140 to 170. That's a 20% move, actually. Right? Because you're adding 30 cents, 14, that's basically a 30. That's an interesting little 20% window. It doesn't really look like it, but look, getting over the 200 moving average is going to be really, really, really hard. It's the last one for a reason. And after all the energy and all the effort to get over it, you've got the 50 right there just to slap you back down under. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like how close these 2 lines are. I don't like that both of them are difficult lines on their own. Like, that's no joke right there, you know? Maybe it's worth considering a 20% swing up to this 170 number. I think it'll probably be well worth having your finger on the mouse and being able to control anything that goes bad, because bad means coming actually down to 120, 122, give or take. This actually says 119. If you look at it, the average 20 is actually sitting at 119, because if we lose the 8 moving averages at 135, it will be a very fast fall down. There's nothing but up, down, like there's not a lot. And to me, if it could make a good little run up, yeah, 20% is not something to look away from. I would never poo-poo 20%. Trust me on that. That just said, I find it really, really hard to believe this thing is going to break 180. That's I think a pretty solid analysis here. Let me know if you disagree with my viewpoint on the news. If any of the news has been more substantial than I'm putting weight on it, let me know. Otherwise, I'm telling you, all I really see this weekly is not even that good. I have nothing to add by looking at this. We're still under some moving averages. All I really see is a NASDAQ day that recovered the last moving average, which gives me a technical reason to go up. It got stopped by this moving average, which actually kind of makes me believe it might go down. I'll watch it tomorrow if it goes up, but I don't know. Let me know if you disagree, all right? Let me know if you disagree. Let's come into finger. Okay, FNGR was very, very much a big topic on the Discord, actually. I know I can look this one up real quick, FNGR, in the search. Boom. Just sharded especially. Look, he wrote it for a minute. He could not have played it any better. And I'll tell you, I know he's right because he got in at a really good price. And it's not about like we're not here telling people when to buy and when to sell, right? But when educated people share some thoughts and opinions, some pretty good things happen. I'll say that, right? But yeah, Finger was doing well for a minute. Over moving averages makes it easy to do well, right? You get yourself good volume, you get yourself an RSI that goes up, you get yourself a MACD that goes up at the same time. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Our RSI, look at that. RSI was 90 if you're looking on the box. Day after was 96. Day after that was 94. All right. Like that is ridiculously high. You know, I start sounding the alarms around 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. I'm starting to like maybe a little panic in my voice. When the RSI runs to this, you can't expect it to be sustainable much longer. All right, and what happens is a violent loss of the 8, bad loss of the 20 and the 50 at the same time. The one thing, and this is again how I started the video, the way this was lost, this came back, this went, like, I'm surprised we didn't fall all the way down to the 100. I actually am. I'm shocked that it didn't. And to me, that screams a good amount of strength for, let's be honest, a rather random ticker here. All right, I don't really know the whole story about Finger. All right, I don't know the fundamental. I don't know why people like it. It's definitely not that old. It literally like 2015, I guess, but like this is all super shady trading. This stock didn't start bringing good consistent full candles until about 2019. All right, and again, it's been living in this little horizontal cluster of like $4 to not even 10, $4 to 7 lately, $4 to 6, right? And I don't know what's happening on the stock. If you can give me some fundamental info, I'll actually appreciate it, all right? But the one thing I've been saying is if it can break this 757 line, sorry, that was really hard. That was a dyslexic struggle right there. Oh man, this is the line that matters. I obviously have this 10 something, but again, this 10 something is like right in the beginnings of what I was basically calling the beginnings of the shady trading, right? Like this happens right as we get, like, to me, this is the number that matters. All right. And it looked really good. I'm glad we were at least able to hit it. What needs to happen is a reattempt ASAP. Because again, the last thing I want to do is hit it and then struggle. Because look, this one happens in July. It doesn't actually end up going over it the next time until September, right? Like, I don't want struggles and lags. No, I need to go back up and hit it. Because again, I always use that game like Jenga or like Don't Break the Ice, if you remember that one. I don't know if that one's too old school, but like you can only hit a thing so many times. You can only pull so many blocks from a little area so many times before it falls, right? And I need constant pressure on the 757 line, okay? I'm not here to talk about short manipulation. I'm not here to talk about short attacking. None of that silliness, okay? What is interesting is this volume kind of like wanting to go up, goes down, wanting to go up, goes down. We're at least holding an interesting several 100,000 volume, which is not bad. I'll say at the minimum, not bad, okay? But it's just, it's hard to understand sustainability. And one thing I will say is the trend has broken. I would say that was the trend. Nope, too tight. I think it was that. Sorry. It was basically bottom of this one all the way to basically that one right there. I think that's what the trend is. You can even argue that that's the trend, going to the corner of that one. Um, yeah, I guess I would also have to draw a line right there, but I don't want to draw a line right there. It's like really close to the bottom of this and the top of that too. I don't want to draw another line because again, we basically have the 20 moving average just basically sitting right there. What am I looking for? Sorry, I like zoomed out and was just kind of trying to think while I'm recording this. I don't think I would touch this under the 20. And I think this is a good candle to break. That's my alert. 588. I would like 588 here. Because if I can get into 588, I'm going to delete the line, all right? But once we get over... Sorry, let me just raise it just a little bit. That's basically it right there. 580 something, right? I go a little higher. I don't mind wasting a couple cents. But once we get over this line, look at it. Look at it. This thing right here. Quick up, quick down, whole mess of nothing. Quick up, quick down, whole mess of nothing. Hopefully, quick up. You know, that's basically what I would be looking for, you know, and the question's really going to be, are we going to be able to get over this trend line one more time? I'd watch that as it comes, but hey, if we can come from like 5 something all the way to like almost 7 something, you're pushing a significant double digit for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like that actually. I don't think it's worth getting in at the 50. I don't think it's worth getting in at the 8. I think it's worth waiting for the 20 to go and then go. MACD's still positive. RSI is actually still kind of seemingly wanting to go down. And I got to believe, yeah, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. RSI was super, super low in the 4s, super, super low in the 16s, relatively low under 30. So I can see the RSI still coming. I like... More power to holding 445, more power to like not significantly losing this 50 moving average. I'd be interested over the lines because we literally just saw it. It knows what to do when it gets over the moving averages. You know, again, we literally just saw it. It knows how to like move up the moving averages as well when the spacings are right. That's just a little too tight for me, but yeah, get over that and let's go, right? So where are we on the weekly? Still under the 8. What's your 8 line at? 5. No, I still like my number. I do. I still like my number. Give me over that. Okay, cool. I like it. One more time, a request for the group. Let me know if there's some like fundamental news I need to know about Finger. I have no idea what this thing does. I happen to know the 4 letters, okay? All right. Cosm. Listen, Cosm's another one. We were literally talking about it this morning. We've actually been talking about Cosm for a bit now. If I go back not even that long ago, 920, you can see we were talking about Cosm, like I said, 918, right? So we were kind of looking at Cosm around here, watching it go up the 8 moving average, okay? Why did we like it? I mean, you hear me say it all the time, right? Red, 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 green, 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 right? Like, I don't want anyone to have $3 dreams just yet. However, hey, if we can go from the 50 moving average all the way to the 100, that's a move from $1.50 all the way to 2 something, almost adding $1 right there, right? So that's what we were really hunting. A move from the 50, break the 8, go to the 20. Break the 20, go to the 50. Break the 50, go to the 100, right? That to that with a nice little red, 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 red. Oh, man. I mean, it was well worth looking at, okay? There was panic this morning. You can see, I mean, it came down relatively hard earlier today. However, again, you know I normally don't talk about what I'm doing, okay? I don't want you to, like, look at my money and be like, oh, man, Chart Readers is in this. I should probably get in this. Like, no, dude, like, do that. You know, no. I'm a crackhead gambler that you don't want to be mimicking. I promise you that. You're just here for my thoughts and opinions, okay? That said, where was it? I am not selling it. I said I wouldn't because it was still over the 8. There was still reason for me to believe that the 8 was, and I was talking about it early in the morning when it was down in the 160s. All right, like, again, what time was this at? 8 a.m. my time, 11 o'clock, right? So a couple hours after market opens, right? Like that thing was down here pretty early. This is how you use the moving averages, right? Like, number one, I'm lucky that I was able to like maybe get in somewhere around here if I had to guess. Shit, maybe even somewhere around here, right? Like I probably would have even still sold at a little bit of a profit, but it was easy to say, no, let's just see and wait, because still seeing the 20 go up, I'm still seeing the 50 go up, I'm still seeing a reason, and I'm still not seeing confirmation, right? Like we're here. I look at the daily and I wait for the daily to end, right? Like knock on wood, that's how I go. Sometimes the greedy monkeys like, hey, do something in our, like all the really fun Discord chats, like it makes me do things earlier than I want. But like know the trader you are and know what you need to do, right? Don't let inter-day noise mess you up if you're a day trader. Don't let weekly news mess you up if you're a long term, right? It's the same concept. So right now, again, I'm watching it until it tells me otherwise, right? Lose the 8, I'm gonna be scared for sure. Lose the 50, I don't even know if I'll be there that long, right? Lose the 20, oh come on, hopefully you know what I mean. Like, but right now, this stock, look, it's been well under the 8 and the 20 for a long time. There's at least a little bit of reason to believe it might be going, and we've seen it. It knows how to do it, right? So I'm letting the lines kind of dictate it. And again, I really like this red right here. You know what I mean? I mean, basically, since this line right here, all it is red, right? So, Cosm, the one thing that's really missing is volume, okay? The one thing that I guess is decent to say is, for the most part, all of the buying that's happened here has maintained. No one has done a crazy, like, sell-off unload. That said, that could happen tomorrow and just mess this thing up hard. You know what I mean? So volume is bad. All right, it really is. Aside from the single one anomaly, excuse me, at the 40 million, like we're definitely low. That said, you know, it's still relatively more green candles than red candles down here, right? So that means more people are buying and holding. Can I get rid of that view? Yeah. So we've otherwise have been struggling to break the 50 moving average. Like we need a decent 2 million volume. It's going to be big. I already know this. But if we're looking for 2 million in about 7 hours of trading, we need to be at roughly 300K by that first hour of trading. That's what you're kind of looking for, all right? But Cosm, look, I'm just letting the lines tell me what to do. I'm hoping it's telling me break the 50, go to the 100. Otherwise, hey, it just doesn't happen. The one thing that for sure could happen is it comes all the way down to 248, hits the 50 and goes back up, right? So I'm not 100% sure if the 8 is going to be my sell, if the 50 is going to be my sell. Like, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. I think a lot of it is going to be what the big volume day is, because I think that's what's going to dictate the move here. But red, green, right? Like that's what I'm hunting. I can't say otherwise, right? So Avtx, this is the last one. And okay, what are we looking for here? It's going to kind of sound a little similar to Cosm, right? Break the 8, go to the 20. Break the 20, go to the 50. Break the 50, go to the 100. And like, I think it's wildly silly to have a dollar something dream on a 16-cent stock, okay? I think that is horribly silly, okay? I don't know if it's too aggressive to have this 30 something cent. All right, this is maybe the most not like that. If you got to draw a line, like I'm drawing a line right there, right? I don't even know if this is where it is at the 20 cent, okay? And like that's generally so small of a spot, but I think I still got to draw it. I'm curious to see if that plays out on the weekly, okay? I mentioned this on Discord this morning. I did Avtx, okay? Saw it. Jumped in. I was like, why not? It's all about breaking it. Very small buy. And I'm telling you, very small buy, because for real, this is like going to Vegas and pulling the giant slot machine for me, okay? If it can move up, hey, great. I'll make a little money. Even 16 to 20 is a solid 25%, right? If it comes down, it's very, very easy that we come down to about 12 cents. Pennies up and pennies down are double digits. You know what I mean? So 1.5 is roughly 10%, 3 cents. You're losing 20% all of a sudden, right? So coming down to 12 is actually really bad because that's 4 cents, okay? That said, you know, hey, there's just a theory I have that when the market doesn't do too well, these kind of stocks have a shot, all right? And one other one I saw was VAC, all right? And VAC, I saw VAC and Avtx at the exact same time. I really did. They both had big volume the moment I looked at them. The one thing that brought me to this one was it was actually in a better position with the moving averages, and I said no to VAC because it was under it and just it seemed fake. Obviously, I picked incorrectly. This is the one that moves silly up, right? So look, are either anything I genuinely like? You know, I'm like I said, I'm here sometimes just playing a slot machine because I'm a little bit of a crackhead, right? But yeah, I think this one's worth looking at. You know, RSI is kind of trying to peak. MACD is making its way from negative down here all the way close to positive up there, and then volume actually did relatively well comparative to Friday. And look, Friday had a big day. Friday was a 16% day, but Friday opens up here at 14 and closes down here at 12. That was not a good day. This one was. This one opens down here at 13, makes its way all the way up to 16. You know what I mean? So I see it going up after hours. I think it's a little bit premature to get super excited. I think we need to see what happens to that 50 moving average tomorrow. But I think there's a shot for 20. I'd be really interested if it can go higher than that. I guess that's really all I can say. You know what I mean? But hey, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, as always, thank you.